morning. I want to explain to you why I believe that one love is a real thing, and why I turned my tattoo into my artist signature / logo. I am 1.5 because I'm one human who does many things. So to explain this to you, I gotta introduce you to my favorite quantum physicist or astrophysicist. His name is Nassim Haramein. Here's a picture of us. Actually, got to meet him. I tried asking him on a date and he laughed. So what he discovered was a pattern that had to do with the relationship of size of living things. So basically the world of quantum physics was trying to find the smallest particle. So they kept exploding the nucleus of an atom to find even smaller particles inside. And then they had to build bigger and bigger accelerators like miles long over in Switzerland to try to find the smallest particle. Nassim said, hey, why don't we try to find a pattern and work with what we already know. So he fidgeted with the math and he was able to come up with an equation that made sense as a pattern. When you plug in all of the different sizes of things as variables into this equation, it created a very straight line, all the measurements plotted perfectly. So he went from measurements like a biological cell, down to a molecule, down to an atom, down to a particle, and like all the way down to the smallest known measurement, which is a Planck. And he went up to, like, you know, the size of a human biofield, size of a planet, the size of a solar system, all the way up to the largest known measurement in like outer space. So he found that they all fit perfectly into this pattern, which does suggest that there is an intelligent mathematical design to the manufacturing of life everywhere. Sort of like how DNA has all of the information already curled up inside it, or how women are born with all of their eggs already in their ovaries when they're little babies. All the information is there already, right? So that's one, we're starting to touch on the idea of one love. The love part is more difficult to explain, but I'm going to work with the science right now. So he found that the biological cell was the exact midway point between the infinitely large and the infinitely small. So what this means is that inside of you, there is a universe that is just as tiny as the one outside is big. So if you think about that for a second, it means that if you were to go within yourself, so they talk about going within in meditation, right? So that's why I really want to hammer this concept into your mind right now, because going within is a real thing and it's actually infinite. Oh yeah, that's the other thing he found about this pattern, is that it's actually infinite. So us being the midway point of size is really just the midway point in what we have been able to perceive and measure so far, which makes sense, right? We're in the center of our own world. But it keeps going according to the math. So if you were to go within, you go inward and you shrink as you go, you would never stop finding particles, waves. Particles and waves are actually one and the same. Sometimes they're one and sometimes the other, and it has a lot to do with consciousness. But basically it would be like traveling through outer space. So when people meditate and they talk about going within, I think it's really helpful to understand this concept and to really go within, like all the way, right? Because as he was explaining, in even the math reflects this, it just goes way past our own ability to measure or comprehend or understand. It gets to the point where it's so tiny that it collapses into a singularity. And This is like where things behave on a differently in the quantum, right? But mathematically, you cannot define two different electrons. There's only one. So basically, if you go within and you access the singularity, you are accessing everything that exists. Is this making sense? I'm gonna need some feedback. This is why we are infinite. And this is why we are both have oneness, but we also have separateness and interconnectedness, because when you're working on the expansive level, when you're going outward, then you find that things coagulate, things have skin, things have an inside and an outside, things have a limit, right? So like when you're going outward, there's limitation. When you're going inward, it's not limited. So through conscious creation, this can really affect what shows up in our world. I think I might just leave it at that for now. But if you this is why this is my new logo. It's actually tattooed on the back of my neck. It's been tattooed on the back of my neck for a couple of years, probably like 5 years. But this is because this is why I am just one in an infinite universe, but I'm also the infinite in one. And so this is a concept of me as an artist, and why I choose not to limit myself to just one discipline. And thank God I didn't, because really with the blockchain, internet is going quantum, and we all have the opportunity now as artists to make money doing everything we do at the same time. And it's no longer gonna be about like, oh, this celebrity is super special because we all know who they are. It's gonna be more localized, because with the internet and like without the record labels and the the main channels of distribution, it's gonna kill the mainstream. It's gonna go more localized. So I'm pretty excited about it. I have my art up and I have my music up now on 2 different websites. The music website is oneloveundermusic.com, and I did that because the Pledge of Allegiance is one nation under God, and I decided to flip that. And my art site is sourceforceartsystems.com. Pretty soon I'm going to unify everything under oneannahuff.com. But anyways, enjoy the art and the music for now, and I hope everyone has a really blessed day, and I'm giving thanks for life.